So go to File, New Project, Navigation-Based Application, choose, and just call this Nav Project 1. Wait for that to open. Okay, under Classes, let's just go ahead and right now we're going to do Add New File, UIViewController subclass. Make sure that with XIV for user interface is checked. Next, we're going to call this second viewController.in. Make sure that it's also creating second viewController.h because we need that finish. And then it puts all three files, the .h, the .in, and .xib into the classes folder. Let's go ahead and drag the nib file down the resources just to keep a nice organization. And let's go back up to our original root viewController.h file, and you can see that it automatically defines it as a UITableView controller when you create a navigation-based project. So it defines all these data source methods for us already. Under number of sections in TableView, we just keep it as 1, which we have 1 section. Under number of rows in section, let's once again have 5 like we did previously. Now their SDK method is doing things a little bit differently than what we did. It's a little bit better for performance right here. For long lists in the table view, they're defining a cell as table view DQ reusable cell with identifier and cell identifier. And saying if that cell is equal to nil still, then you actually allocate it and then auto release it. So basically, this is just reusing any cells that currently aren't visible, and yeah, just reusing them. So that's for performance reasons. Now we already have didSelectRowAtIndexPath ready for us, so that's what we're going to use. And they have some code already defined in there, which we are going to use. So now under a second view controller, let's just go ahead and double click on that and open it up. And we're just going to add a label in there, just so you can add whatever, but I'm just going to add a simple label so that when you actually change views, you can actually see what's that's loading the second view controller. So second view controller. Okay, let's make that more visible. That's fine. That'll do just perfectly. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we need to import a second view controller just so that this root view controller actually knows about it before we can actually push on to that second view. So import, do this # import in quotes, do our second view controller.h, and it tries to autocomplete it. That's what we want in the quotes. Okay, so now it is aware of that other class. And under didSelectRowAtIndexPath, let's go and uncomment this code that was auto-generated for us. So right here, this first line is actually defining a variable for the class with the nib name that we're going to be using. And then it says self.navigation controller, push view controller, blah blah, and that's where it's actually, you know, moving on to the next view controller, and then it releases it, which is something that you try to always do in the iPhone SDK, because just to minimize leaks. So right here they automatically have detailed view controller. We don't have a detailed view controller, so this class that we want is second view controller. Second view controller, using the second view controller. I'll look in it with min name, and our min name is going to be second view controller.xib, and then bundle, nil, whatever. And then also right in here where it says self-route navigation controller, push view controller, we need to change this to our second view controller variable. And also right here when it's releasing, change that to second view controller. So there's another thing that we want to do. So when you're changing, actually, you know, let's go and run that, and I'll just show you what's going on for now, and then we're gonna do one or two more things. So it's running. Oh, sorry. Let's actually make some text in here. How about that? That might help. Okay, so I'm going to configure the cell. We're going to say cell dot text label set text. We're just going to do the test 2-3 like just as we did before. And let's go and run that. Alright, perfect. Alright, except that when we click on that, it crashed. Actually, I don't think we need .xib right in there. Change that, let's run that. Oh, here we go. Okay, run that. Okay, so we have that working. Now, what we gotta make sure to do is set by default the title of our navigation item. If you saw in the simulator, there was no title on the navigation bar, so let's just set that right now. So we do self.navigation item dot title equal, let's just say first view control. Right? Now, also in the second view control, let's go and define an ns string. This is going to store our title. That's going to be set up. It's going to be able to be set from this first view controller. Now, atomic retain ns string title. So basically, by doing this in a string and then outside of the brackets, we do at property blah blah blah. This allows us to set this variable from outside of this class, which is what we want. So basically, we can send a title to this from our previous view. So under view did load, the only thing we're going to do is say self.navigation item title equals title. And also, before we can actually complete this, we have to, under the implementation, we have to do at synthesize. This actually loads our title variable that was set outside into our class. And then what we can do over here is say second view controller dot title equals, let's just say my title. So now what should happen is when we click on the row, it actually goes to the next view and sets the title in that next view. And also, before we go on, let's just quickly add that accessory to the cell. So remember from our last tutorial, UITableView cell accessory disclosure indicator. So we're just making a little accessory indicator. So let's run that. Alright, so we have our accessories, we have all our rows, blah blah blah. Click that, and as you can see, it goes to the next view. It says my title, and we have our label there, and then we have this back button now to first view controller. And it's still not very exciting, but you know, we have a working navigation based application. So I'll be making some more tutorials. Stay tuned, we'll see.